Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. So happy you can join me today. So, today I'm going to talk about a thing that happened that I saw on the news when it happened. And it was one of those things where I kind of followed along, but not really. And then I drove past the spot it happened a couple months ago and it reminded me of it. And I thought to myself, I haven't seen any like crime channels and stuff like that cover this, so I should look into it. So I did a records request and I've been going through the tons of information that the Roswell, Georgia Police Department sent me. And I wanted to tell you the story about these two teenagers that died in North Georgia. As anybody who's seen my or been in my channel for any length of time knows that I'm not shy about letting you know that I live in North Georgia. So I wanted to share this story today. So, in the early morning hours of August 1st, 2016, the bodies of two young high school students were found behind a Publix shopping center in Roswell, Georgia. And that shopping center was located at 855 Woodstock Road, like I said, in Roswell. And the bodies were discovered about 6 a.m. by a delivery man. So let's go right into. First, let me show you on the map. You know how I like my maps. Good to see you, Colonel Angus. I think you'll be interested in this story because you also are from the northern part of Georgia, and this happened in between our two houses, I guess. So, you know how I like the maps. There it is. So this is the shopping center here, this L shape. And then this is Roswell High School, where one of the young lady, Natalie, went to this high school. The other one, Carter, went to a different high school, but we'll get to that in a minute. And this is Woodstock Road, also known around here as Highway 92. And let me switch over to this. So I want to show you the 911 call that came in first.
Bravo 911, what's location emergency?
I drive a truck and I deliver eggs to Publix grocery stores. I just drove around the Publix over here at Kings Plaza, and there looked like two bodies were laying behind the store beside some vehicles.
That they had booked the Publix on which highway? You said Kings Plaza?
Kings Plaza. Let me see if I've got the address here. It's Publix on Kings Plaza, at King Plaza.
At King Road?
At King Road, correct.
All right. What is your phone number?
My phone number is... My name is Russ Neesmith.
Are you still in the area?
Yeah, so when I drove by, I got out from back there because I didn't know what was going on.
I understand. Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I delivered, like I say, Publix grocery stores. I was coming from another Publix just up the road there, and I was coming in through the back to the loading dock, and when I drove back there, I noticed some vehicles sitting there, and one of them had the trunk lid open. I think it may have been a van. And then I noticed some people laying on the ground. And then when I got a little closer coming by, I noticed they weren't moving. One of the bodies actually looked like it was naked. I think it was a male and a female. I noticed the male had blood around its head. But I didn't stop to see if they were okay because I didn't know if possibly it was a murder or what. So I didn't
understand.
Be in that area.
Where are you now?
I've actually just pulled out, going down the road to my next Publix down here.
Which one? Which Publix are you at? Rucker Road?
Publix. I'm sorry.
Are you going to Publix on Rucker or?
the one I came from. The one I'm going to now is
How long ago was it that you were at that Kroger, or the Publix, I'm sorry?
like literally 2 or 3 minutes ago. I just pulled out. I pulled across the road to the Home Depot and I dialed 911.
Alright.
I'm going to the Publix on Market Boulevard. Right
Market Boulevard, okay.
400.
And like, what section behind that Publix? Is it at the loading bay, or?
It's a one. No, you can't miss it. It's one way behind that building. You go one way behind that building. The road to go behind the building is off of King Road. You turn in there and you go behind that shopping center, and you can't miss it.
Okay. And so, all right, you're headed to the marketplace. Okay, we're going to get the officers out to check the area. Got your phone number and your name.
Please give me a call back and let me know.
We'll give you a call if we need you to meet with an officer, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks. All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
So the 2 young people that were found there behind that Publix was Carter Davis. He was 17 years old, and he was a student at River Ridge High School. If you guys remember, we covered a story where the person had gone to River Ridge. You remember the Lake and Riley case that we covered? She also was a student at River Ridge High School. I'm getting the presentation back up. And Carter, according to his classmates, he was a great guy. He was everybody's friend. He was very good at making friends. So he was very personable and liked to be kind to everyone. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I got to the mute button in time. Anyway, so Carter had recently moved to the area. He was an honor roll student at River Ridge High School, and he played on the lacrosse team. Natalie Henderson was a student at Roswell High School, which you can see right across the street from where this Publix was. Publix is a shopping center for those of you who aren't from the South. And she was the captain of the color guard. So she was taking a leadership role, and her classmates said about her, she was described as intelligent and sociable. I decided to drive out to the area just because, I lived in the area and I had gone to the Delphi. When I was in Indiana, I went to the Delphi Trail. And then when I was covering the Justin Ross Harris case, I went out there too. So I went over there yesterday and I did record a little video, which I'll show you guys now, just because I went and did it. So I might as well show you, right? Hello, I'm here in the Publix shopping center on Woodstock Road in Roswell, Georgia right now. And it is a cold, gloomy day here in Georgia. Just wanted to drive behind this Publix shopping center and show you guys the area where this crime happened. They always say in all of the news articles that it happened behind the Publix, but it actually happened, I believe, right back here behind the Massage MV, right in that corner of where the joint and the By the way, I was wrong about that. I looked at the overhead map since then, and it was further back behind the backside of the Publix. Massage MV is. So let's set you guys up here and we'll go for a little drive. Oop, there you go. Don't fall down. This is the spot that in 2016, August 1st, 2016, Jeffrey Hazelwood stalked these two young kids, one of which went to Roswell High School, which is just across the street here. The other went to River Ridge High School, which is down the road in Woodstock. They met up here, have a little rendezvous, I guess. And Jeffrey Hazelwood was parked in this parking lot because he had been kicked out of his grandparents' house, which is where he was living at the time. Well, he was homeless at the time, I guess, but the day before he had been kicked out of his house. So I think he decided to park over here, and you'll notice these spots over on this side. Every other spot has a no parking sign. Every other one. So I'm thinking that he was parked over on this side. Lots of no parking. Like, this is way overkill with the no private parking, or private property, no parking signs. And he saw them come in here and drive behind the shopping center here. There's video surveillance here at the UPS store, which we're just passing now, that catches him heading towards there after the kids drive by. And they're two separate vehicles. It also catches him running away back towards his car. They ended up parking right here in these parking spots right here. Jeffrey Hazelwood went up on the roof somehow and was watching them from there for a little bit before he hopped down and watched them from behind this electrical box, which you'll see on the screen here in just a second. He hid behind this electrical box right here and then watched them from there until he decided to jump out and ambush them. He had a gun with him that he had stolen from his grandfather. He forced them out of the car and he executed the young man first. The young man was a lacrosse player, 17-year-old lacrosse player, a jock. You know, he was strong. If it was just one-on-one without a gun involved, I think he would have taken Jeffrey Hazelwood. Like, honestly, that's not what happened. He executed the young man first and then assaulted the young woman before killing her too. He then came back this way, running back to get in his car, and then went west on Highway 92, having stolen Natalie's credit cards. He went to a gas station at the corner of Highway 92, which is the main road here, and tricked him. And he used her credit card while wearing a V for Vendetta or Guy Fawkes mask, as if that was going to hide his identity. But he thought it would, and that's what he did. When he was arrested at the QT on the corner of Highway 92 and Maybury, they found that mask in the back of his car. All right, so I ended up recording for a long time and just telling the whole story from my brain while I was driving. So I cut it short because I want to tell you the story here right now, not while I'm driving down the road. Anyway, so the police get there. We saw the police arrive and they're like, okay, we need to start figuring out what happened here. And the first thing they thought was like, maybe it's like an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend who found them back here canoodling and, didn't like that. And so they started interviewing everybody who knew these kids, and the one person, Natalie had an ex-boyfriend who they really honed in on a little bit. They interviewed him. He had a airtight alibi. It wasn't him. At this point, they start going through the surveillance videos, and they see this car right here. So they're like, okay, well, we need to figure that's the only other car in the parking lot. That silver SUV arrives and parks. And a few minutes later, they see Natalie and Carter, both of their cars pull up within seconds of each other. It's like they were following each other there. It's not like they met there. They were somewhere else, and they met up there behind the Publix. And as soon as they arrive, they see the silver Honda Passport that's parked, and somebody gets out of the Honda Passport. And it's a very slender built man with long, messy hair exiting the car. And he walks behind the building in the direction that the two cars went, the direction that you just saw me drive. So they start following the only place that has video cameras back there is the UPS store. So there's no cameras behind the actual spot where they're parked, but they see the guy go past. And a short time later, they see him running back, like towards his car. So here's what it catches. They see him get out of the Honda Passport is parked like up over that way. I guess it's this way on the screen, up that way, and then start walking towards the car. He's not wearing the mask at this time. And then a few minutes later, they see him running back. Like, all right, we got to figure out what this Honda Passport, whose car this is, right? So the Roswell Police Department call the GBI in, and they're like, okay, so we can't see the license plate on the car because you saw how crummy that footage of the car was from out front. Let me go back to that picture. Like, they can't really, it's like being filmed on a potato, right? It's an old surveillance system. Can't see the license plate, but they can tell about the year, the make, the model, about the year. So the GBI narrows it down to 650 people in the area that have this car. So they start going through them one by one, because what else can you do? So one by one, they're going through them, and they end up landing on Jeffrey Hazelwood. They see his driver's license. They're like, this could be the dude. Also, the wheels mismatched on this car, and so did his. They're like, okay, we might have a match. So not only that, at the same time, hold on, I have one video that I meant to pull up that I didn't. So let me get that. To look at this far screen over here. Here we go. Let me pull this one up. They're like, this could be the guy. And where was I? Oh, at the same time, they get a call from Natalie's family. And Natalie's family is like, hey, police officers, investigator people, I'm looking at Natalie's bank statement, and her debit card was used that night, or early that, it was, overnight, but early that morning, in like the middle of the night, at this gas station at Trickham and 92. So you need to check over there. So all of these investigations are going on simultaneously, and they all land on Jeffrey Hazelwood.
Sealed records in the murder of two Roswell teenagers are shedding new information on how detectives were able to track down the suspects so quickly. A Channel 2 investigative reporter, Jody Fleischer, live at GBI headquarters in DeKalb County with Jody, the role that the agency played in cracking this case.
Well, Justin, it's called an offline search, and the GBI does up to 400 of them each year to help local agencies when their best lead is a good description of a vehicle. Now, in this case, it helped to track down a suspected killer, and it's all outlined right here in these warrants.
It works really well from the standpoint of when you have not much to go on.
GBI spokesman Scott Dutton says the agency is proud of the role it plays in helping crack local cases. In the Roswell teen murders, he touted strong detective work from the Roswell police detectives coupled with the technology that helped identify this SUV.
Depending on the information that the agency has, it could be anything from a partial tag to a vehicle description.
In this case, Roswell detectives knew their suspect drove a white or silver SUV. It looked like a 1998 or 99 Honda Passport or Isuzu Rodeo. They asked the GBI for a list of all of those registered in Fulton and Cobb counties and got roughly 650 hits.
It takes good detective work, so a lot of it is process of elimination, looking at the data a little bit further.
They looked at who those vehicles belonged to, their family members, and prior calls to their addresses. Detectives honed in on Jeffrey Hazelwood, and when they saw his driver's license picture, they thought it matched the man in the surveillance video.
It takes dedication, patience, and persistence to make that happen.
When they found this SUV at his girlfriend's parents' house, they saw guns and a mask inside, plus specific details matched the SUV in the video.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, that's what we're here for. We enjoy the successes of making those connections and helping solve cases.
Now, in this case, detectives used that information to get the search warrants for Hazelwood's SUV and for his girlfriend's parents' house. Now, detectives have not yet filed the paperwork showing what they took in those searches. Reporting live at GBI headquarters in DeKalb County, Jody Fleischer, Channel 2 Action News.
Thank you, Jody, for the report. I appreciate it. And thank you, RD Foz, for the $2 super chat. And since we're at a stopping point, somebody wanted to see Xena. There's Xena. And Ava is here too. But thank you so much for the super chat. I forgot to mention at the top of the show, if anybody super chats while we're on air, these two get a milk bone on air. Here goes. I appreciate it. I appreciate you supporting the show. These kind of shows usually don't draw as big of the audiences, but this is what I enjoy doing. So I'm glad you guys are here to share it with me. Truly. I appreciate you being here. So they go to the surveillance at the gas station in Cherokee County, and they see this dude using Natalie's credit card, mind you, pumping gas with a Guy Fawkes mask on, the TB mask, the Tyrants Beware mask, the V for Vendetta mask, whatever you want to call it. And in that surveillance video, they can actually see the license plate. So not only is the GBI going through the records of these 650 cars that match the description and looking at the driver's licenses and seeing this guy that matches the description, but they also see his license plate matches it from that other gas station. Let me put the presentation back on because I want to show you the surveillance pictures. I know how to do this. I don't do presentations that often, so I clicked the wrong buttons. Here we go. Let's get back to that. So we see him going towards there and then running away. Then after he goes to the gas station, an hour later, this is him running away. An hour later, he comes back with the mask on. He comes back with the mask on to check the crime scene, right? And he ends up posing the bodies. He poses Carter with his arms just spread out like this, laying flat on his back. And then he poses Natalie in a suggestive way. He undresses her completely. Carter is left with just his boxers on and poses the bodies. An hour later, you can see on this timestamp, it's like 3:10 or whatever it is in the morning. And the murders actually happened at like 2, which is just crazy. And there you can see he has the mask on. There he is walking away at 3:15 now it is. So he walked over there at like 8 or 9 after 3 and then comes back at 3:15 after going back and posing the bodies. This is after he used the credit card at the gas station. This is after he's caught on the surveillance over there wearing the same mask that he's wearing in this picture. So they put an warrant out for his arrest. They go to his grandparents' house first, and his grandparents are like, "Oh, we kicked him out a couple of days ago, so he might be at his girlfriend's house." And they're like, "Okay, well, we'll go check his girlfriend's house." They go over to the girlfriend's parents' house, and they see his SUV in the driveway. So they just sit and wait and watch. And he ends up getting in the car and driving away, and they follow him to this point here. I have the music playing just because it's just complete silence. At the beginning of this, there's no sound inside of the car. So that's why it's there.
First Florida man, and dope is so dope. First Florida man was hurting, and dope is so dope. Won't you so logos, show off your photos, throw out them Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was hurting, and dope is so dope. Got my attention by the man with the mojo, my 8 subscriber, yeah, I'm a fat go-so. Jump in them Sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was hurting, and dope is so dope. Hernando de Soto, the first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Got my attention by the man with the mojo, my 8 subscriber, yeah, I'm a facoso. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Okay, I'm clear. Do not touch the car. Sit back down, Martin.
They got a whole squad over there to get this guy. It's like half the police department, I bet.
Door 4 needs to clear that house. Send to the 4th floor. Can you service the Merc car? House to be able to search. Send to the 4th floor. Do you guys notify Cobb yet?
Or just wait till they get him in the car. He cries like a little baby. Just remember what he did to those kids behind the supermarket before you feel sorry for him.
Radio, if you're monitoring, make sure Cobb's there.
What did you do? Hey, buddy. What's your name? What's your name? Okay. What's your name? What can I call you? Okay. Do me a favor. I'm sorry? Okay. Do me a favor. Just have a seat, okay? Have a seat. We'll take care of that, bud. Have a seat. Go ahead and turn your feet in. There you go. Just like that.
My wife is texting me. I can hear her in my ear.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Here.
No, that's my connection to her.
I'm clear. We're here in the back seat of my car. I don't like connections. Turn and face that way for me.
Huh?
I just need to double check something. Turn and face that way for me. Your whole body.
Okay.
Can you pull your arms away from your body?
Huh?
I just want to make sure I double lock them. Okay. Thank you.
What did I do? What did she do? But she didn't do it. What did I... What happened? But I didn't do anything. What's going on? My wife. No. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. What's going on? No. I didn't do anything. What's going on? I didn't do anything. My wife. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. What did I do? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Oh, what happened? What did I do? I didn't do anything. No. I didn't do anything. No, my wife, what's going on? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. No. I didn't do anything.
So, a couple of questions in the chat. Somebody asked if he knew the two teenagers before he killed them. He did not. He just saw an opportunity. He had stolen his grandfather's gun. He had it with him. He saw them drive behind the grocery store and he followed them back there. They had never met before. And then there was one other question. Hold on, let me find it. Oh, I saw it. I should have. I can't remember what there was another question and I don't know what it was. And now I can't find it. If I come across it, I'll stop again. So this goes on for 45 minutes while they're sitting in the car at the gas station and then driving him to the police station. Everyone's saying he sounds mentally ill. He does sound mentally ill. However, he was not diagnosed with any mental illness previous to him committing this crime. So, you know, he was a bad kid, I guess. He had issues. However, is he acting? I don't know. He could be acting. So I'm not going to make you guys sit through. Well, I guess we'll play another couple minutes of him whining in the back of the car.
I didn't do anything. What just what's going on?
Affirmative, top is en route.
What's going on? I didn't do anything.
You've got two en route. Do you want more?
They might want to start a suit.
Proceed.
Oh, people were asking what his motivation was. We don't know. He just saw an opportunity. I think that's his only motivation. I think that's it. Now he's hyperventilating in the back of the car because he got caught.
No! Not inside! No! What's going on? I didn't do anything!
All right, I can't take anymore. This is on my channel. If you guys want to go watch the last few minutes of this, this is not even the whole thing. I was going to say body cam. This is a dash cam, not a dash cam. In police car cam video that I got from the Roswell Police Department was 45 minutes long. If anybody wants the whole thing, let me know and I will upload it and send you a link. If you really, it's literally the same thing over and over and over again for 44 minutes. Anyway, so who is this guy? Everyone wants to know who is this guy? Let's put the surveillance camera photo of him wearing the Guy Fawkes mask, the Tyrants Beware mask, I'm going to call it, up on the screen of him going back and posing the bodies an hour after he kills these two 17-year-olds. I want to remind you, 17-year-olds. It's taken a second. It'll get there. There we go. Let's get the one of him, the good one that you can actually see the mask. This one. There it is. Okay, so who is this guy who stalked two young 17-year-old, very promising, both honor roll students, by the way. One of them on the lacrosse team, and the girl, Natalie was the lead person in the color guard. Very promising young people who had their whole life ahead of them. Who was this guy? So Jeffrey Hazelwood was born on July 10th, 1996. He was 20 years old on August 1st of 2016, the date that this photo was taken, or this snapshot from the surveillance cam from the UPS store in the Publix shopping center. His mom, Sherry, was 19 years old when Jeffrey was born, and she was trying to raise him alone, but she had some issues. She had various substance abuse problems. It was alcohol, it was drugs, it was the myriad of all the different things that could cause someone to be a bad mom. There was talk in the trial about him possibly having fetal alcohol syndrome. The father left her before he was born. When Jeffrey was 6 months old, his maternal grandparents, Walter and Martha, gained full custody of him through the court system. Sherry was required to pay child support in the amount of $160 a month. Not that much money, $160. She couldn't do it. She fell behind $12,000, and her parents took her to court when he was in middle school. $12,000 behind. The court ordered at that time because he still had contact with the mom. There was visitation and stuff like that. But the court ordered counseling for both Jeffrey and his mom, like counseling together, and then also counseling separately, which his grandparents faithfully took him to, but his mom was not good at showing up for. Jeffrey was loved and taken care of by his grandparents, but he would still act out and was described as a problem child. He would break into their safe and steal stuff. He liked to play make-believe with real weapons, and I guess his grandfather had swords and knives, and he was a collector of things, and they would keep that stuff locked up because they didn't trust him because he was a problem kid. But he would break into the safe and steal this stuff, which is the SIG 9mm that he used to kill Natalie and Carter. He had stolen from his grandparents before he was kicked out of the house. That was like the final straw. His neighbors had called the cops on his grandparents' neighbors, he was living at his grandparents' house, called the cops on him many times for playing with swords and throwing I don't know, weapons of some sort in their yards. But then when he was 16 years old, his grandmother finally called the police on him as well to report the theft. He was sent away to a military style high school, which he did graduate from. He had average grades, but he did end up graduating from high school, and his classmates described him as weird, and the other one in quotations is he was an unusual dude. Makes sense. After graduating high school, he moved back in with his grandparents, and he was unemployed for a little over a year, but he ended up finding employment at Michael's Arts and Crafts store and also at a Walmart. And turns out the Walmart that he was employed at was the same Walmart that's on the same like street corner as the gas station that he used Natalie's credit card at the night of the murders. So he was arrested. We just saw him get arrested. They bring him in for questioning, and at first he denies knowing anything about the crime. Then he is confronted with obviously, this is you on the surveillance tape, buddy. And he says, okay, well, I was there, but I wasn't the one that actually did the crime. It was this other dude named City. I only knew him as City, and there was another guy named Matt there, but I don't know their last names, and I don't know how to get in touch with them. But that's who you're looking for, is City and Matt. And I met them at in the Michael's parking lot because they were smoking pot out there. They were smoking weed, and I ended up smoking weed with them, and that's how we met a couple of weeks ago. And they murdered these two kids, and I was just there. And the detective says, we have the surveillance, dude. There's nobody else there. We don't see anyone else there. So then he's like, all right, well, I think I need a lawyer. And so they, say, okay, interview over. And they put him in jail to, I don't know, rot until his trial, I guess. He ends up coming back the next day and says, I need to talk some more. So he must have thought of another story. So let's watch a little bit of the first interview. Keep in mind, there's approximately 8 hours total of interviews. I have them that's in the first interview is in 4 parts and the second interview is in 5 parts. And all of them are uploaded on my channel in the members section. So if you're a member of my channel, you could watch this whole thing. You could spend you could binge it if you want to, it's as long as a television show. But he's very whiny. It's very hard to listen to, but I do have a couple of clips pulled up so you can kind of see where his story goes. The first one that I have pulled up is from the first interview that I was talking about. So this is the night that he was arrested. So we just saw him get arrested. And I'm making it as loud as I can. It's very quiet.
Before they were covered in blood. You followed them into the parking lot. I have you on video. I have you on video camera. There's a camera pointed at the parking lot. There are cameras around that entire shopping center. So I have them pulling into the parking lot, you pulling into the parking lot, you park at a different location from where they park, you walk around your vehicle, you go towards them, you shoot them, then you run away. You leave, and then you go to the gas station. And you pump gas into your car and then into a gas can. Then you come back to the Publix. You park in the same general area as where you parked the first time. And you go back to the bodies. There was nobody else in that parking lot.
I heard the shots.
There was nobody else in that parking lot.
I heard.
If I have video of you moving all around, don't you think I watched the video before There's no one else in the parking lot. For hours before they got there. There's no one else in the parking lot. All the businesses close. All the employees leave. No one walks onto the property. No one drives onto the property until they enter the property, and then you enter the property. There are only 3 people on the property, and 2 people are dead.
I didn't.
So who did it?
I gave that gun to Matt and returned it to me later.
When did you give the gun to Matt? Not a week ago, because you didn't have it a week ago. So try again.
Yes, I did.
You told me you got the gun on Sunday.
I want to get in trouble. I want to see my life again. I know
Okay.
this is going.
Listen, you just said to me that you don't want to get in trouble. Right now, lying to me, all it's going to do is get you in trouble. What happened when you got out of the car and went back there? What made you mad? What made you dislike them so much? What made you want to hurt them? What about those people made you want to do that to them?
I didn't. I didn't.
You heard the shots when you were walking back there. I can see you firing the weapon. And the cameras. If it's not you, then who is it? You get out of your car, you walk back there, you stand there, you shoot them, and then you run back to your car. Tell me who else was there.
It's not me.
Tell me who else was there then.
I don't know. I came up and
So some invisible person shot them while you were walking towards them. Why'd you need to wear a mask? Did they know who you were?
What do you mean?
You were wearing a mask. The mask is in the back of your car right now. I saw it this morning.
Which one?
The V for Vendetta mask.
Yes?
Yeah.
I was scared the guy was still there. They put him to see
Did you think the mask was not going to have him kill you? If there's some crazy person back there with a gun, you thought you could put a little plastic Halloween mask on your face and you'd be okay? That's the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard, Jeffrey. Are you kidding me?
Wasn't me.
Why would you go back there if there's some crazy guy with a gun? You wanted to go back to get some jumper cables? Not cash, not jewelry, not anything expensive. You went back where people were murdered to
I
get
needed to see if it was
jumper
fucking
cables.
real.
And you took jumper cables. And you took her wallet. Where's her wallet? You used her freaking credit card at the gas station. I'm not stupid.
In the console.
So you stepped over her bloody, naked body and dug through her car and stole her wallet. And you stepped over his bloody, naked body and got his jumper cables out of the back? Or did you step on his bloody, naked body? Did you step on him? You didn't step on him, just like you didn't shoot him. So the invisible person shot him and stepped on him.
Didn't do it.
Get in your spot.
Is that what he looked like when you got there? Or did you put him like that? Does that jog your memory?
Thank you so much, Douglas, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it very much. These ones where I pull records actually cost money too, so I appreciate donations on the ones like this. And of course, I'm gonna give them a duck foot for a $5 super chat today. Yes, the Wigglebutts definitely need a treat. They need a duck foot. Oh, these are so gross. So disgusting. Ugh. There's this one. Gross. And there's this one. I'm going to have to go wash my hands. All right, back to the whining.
Memory about what happened that night? This is what it looks like in the daylight. It was dark when you were back there. Who is he? How did you know him? How did you know that they were going to be back there? How did you know to follow them in the parking lot?
I didn't. I was curious.
You were curious as to what they were going back there for? So you wanted to see where they were going. So you followed them back there. What did you see them doing when you got back there?
Didn't see him doing anything.
You walked behind the building less than a minute after they parked. So you didn't see them doing anything.
No.
So in less than a minute, the invisible person shot them before you could get from your car to their car, while you're standing there the whole time with a gun in your hand.
I didn't have a gun.
I don't think you understand that we have video. Did she look like this when you saw her? Did you put her like this? People don't fall down with their legs spread apart like that.
I didn't do it. My mind's so jumbled. I don't know what to think. I don't know. Do that.
What if somebody did this to Kelsey? Then what? Then what? What would you want to happen to the person that did this to Kelsey? If this was Kelsey's picture, and they shot her, and they laid her out naked on the ground, and they spread her legs open, and they touched her, what happens to that person that does that?
I wouldn't like that at all.
You wouldn't like it? What would you do to that person? What should I do to that person as a police officer? What should happen to that person?
Bad.
What is bad?
If I was a police officer, I don't think he would make it to trial. That's why I'm not a police officer.
Just bad? I want you to look at her. Look at her in the daylight. You didn't get to see her in the daylight. Have you ever seen that much blood before? Did you know there was going to be that much blood when you shot her?
Sure.
Who's on the video?
What do you mean?
Who's on the video walking from your car with the gun in their hand,
I didn't
shooting
have
her?
a gun. I didn't shoot her.
That's the story that you're going to stick to? That's it. That's what we're going with. That's what we're going with. So you told me you don't have any family but Kelsey. These two? These two have family. What do you think their family wants to happen to the person who did this to them? Bad things. What kind of bad things? Should they go to prison forever? Should they go to the electric chair? You don't know.
I don't know if it's still operational.
It's not still operational. Okay.
Is it?
What's this on her foot? You know what that means?
No, what is it?
Is that your cigarette burns? While you're touching her. Did you burn her feet?
What? That's not. I didn't do that.
You didn't do that.
Didn't do anything.
You didn't do this, but you did this.
No, I did not.
You didn't make the marks on her feet, but you definitely made the big mark in her head.
No, I didn't.
That's what we're going with, right? You didn't do it. So the video that I have of you walking from your car, walking back to their car, holding a gun and shooting them in the head, you didn't do it. Okay. All right.
All right, so let me cue up the next one. So, there's a lot of debate about this one, GS. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here, but he was not diagnosed with any mental disorders until after these crimes occurred. So this could all be acting. Although next week, this is going to be a part 1 of 2, maybe 3. I'm not sure how much we'll get through today. But next week, Colin is coming on, and we're going to go over the court side of this case. And his hearings were delayed because he was put into a mental institution, and they were trying to get his meds right. And like during the hearings, like the pretrial stuff, he had an imaginary dog that he was talking to and pretending to pet. And once the meds got corrected enough, the tics, they were still there a little bit, but not like they are now. So who knows?
So here we have you walking in. That's you. Those aren't khaki pants. Those are blue jeans that are in the backseat of your car that have blood spatter on them. They do. That's what happens when you shoot somebody, especially when you're standing as close as you are.
I forgot to tell you guys this part. What she's talking about here is the evidence that we're still on the first interview. This is the day he got arrested. The evidence they found in his car. So they found the clothes he was wearing that day, and there's blood splatter on it. And they found the Tyrants Beware mask that he was wearing as well in the car. And we saw the surveillance footage of him going back to the crime scene to pose the bodies wearing that mask. And then also at the gas station where he was wearing that mask when he was using Natalie's credit card as well. That's what she's talking about now.
When you shot them, the blood splashes back and gets on you. Whether it's big drops or little drops, that's what happens. The red shirt that's in your car, the jacket that's in your car, the mask that's in your car. Your car, not anybody else's car, your car. This is you when you ran away. That's you running away the first time, after you shot them, running away.
Didn't shoot them.
This is you coming back the second time with your mask on. Mask on. Because the bad guy would have gotten you. That's the story that we're going with. The invisible bad guy that looks just like you.
It wasn't me. That was the first time.
Here you are at the gas station with the young lady's credit card, filling up your car and filling up your gas can with her credit card in your mask. Why did you need to wear your mask at the gas station? He might have followed you. Is this the boogeyman? It seems like he's the boogeyman. Yeah. The invisible boogeyman that holds guns and shoots innocent children in a parking lot. Do you know how old they were? How old did they look to you?
What do you mean?
How old did they look?
They look like teenagers.
How did you know?
So I don't think there's any sexual abuse in his past, but his mom was kind of a loser. And it wouldn't surprise me if he was a victim of some sort of like fetal alcohol syndrome or something like that. And then also the time, like from the time he was 6 months old, his grandparents had full custody of him and his mom only had visitation. So I'm wondering if he was extremely like neglected, ignored when he was with his mom because she had all of those drug issues. I don't, maybe even, you know, physical abuse, but I don't think there was any sexual abuse in his past.
He went into their cars, and he dug through all the bags that she had in her car, and he dumped out her pocketbook. What'd you find in there? What'd you get out? You said that was in the console. The purse wasn't in the console.
What do you mean?
What'd you take out of the purse?
The purse was on the console.
The purse was on the console.
Yes.
And you got the wallet out. Where's the wallet right now?
There is no wallet. There is no wallet.
The blue wallet. No wallet. Where's her driver's license?
What do you mean?
Did you take it? Do you need to keep it? Did you need to save it?
No.
To show that you did what you did? So that you could remember later that you did what you did?
No.
No?
No.
So her driver's license is not going to be in your car?
No.
Did you throw it out the window?
No.
What'd you do with the credit card? Where's the credit card? Threw it where?
It was wrong.
Threw it where?
In the median.
In the median where? 92 where? Give me a break.
I don't remember.
Was it on your way back over to Publix? You threw it out the window. In the median.
It was wrong.
You were going to return the credit card, but then you came back the second time and took the jumper cables. So was it better to take the jumper cables than the credit card, even though you already used the money on the credit card? That's how you're going to rationalize that? You think you're a horrible person? Why is it that you're a horrible person?
I robbed the dead because I was selfish.
You robbed the dead. What about robbing them of their lives?
Okay, so we're going to move on to the second interview. So at the end, once she's presenting him with all of this evidence against him, the blood splattered clothes in his car, the mask that he's seen wearing at the crime scene in his car, the fact that the gun matches a gun that was reported stolen from his grandparents' house, he asks for a lawyer. He actually doesn't ask for a lawyer. I wish I had queued up that timestamp. He asks for the fancy people, I think is how he puts it. I want to talk to the fancy people. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the ones that wear suits. I want to talk to the fancy people, the lawyers. She's like, you want to speak to an attorney? Okay. It's in there. Like I said, it's all of the entirety of this and 2 days worth of interviews is on my channel for members. It's like, I think $3 a month if you want to look at it. And really, if you don't have $3 and you want to see it, just let me know. I'll send you the link so you can see it. So he asks for the fancy people. She's like, okay, interview over. Off to jail till you get your fancy people to talk to me. And then he asks the jailer, whoever's the guard at the jail, he says, I want to talk to the lady cop again. And this is the very next day. So he goes back to talk to her. And so his story now is that, let's see. His story goes from City and Matt are the ones that did it, not me. And then all the evidence. And then he goes to, well, they made me do it because they were threatening to kill my family. And she's like, yeah, but we have the surveillance footage. There was nobody else there. And he's like, they were hiding in the wood line behind the store, yelling commands at me what to do. That's what he's going with now. And slowly throughout this whole second interview, it goes from he stops saying they and starts saying I. So he ends up taking the blame off of these random people that he has no way to contact these people because they don't exist. He is just figments of his imagination, or he's making them up to get out of this crime. Not sure which, but he starts taking responsibility himself throughout this. This is part 2 of 5 we're on now. We're not, like I said, they're all about an hour each. We're not staying here for 5 hours to watch it, but here's a few clips of that.
So he got out of the car over here, still in when y'all were in the Roswell parking lot. I'm sorry. I can't clear my throat now. So he got out over here. Okay. I'll go. I have a soda back on my desk. I'll go grab it in a second. He got out over here and told you to drive across the street to Publix. So you go straight over into the Publix, and he runs straight over, same, like right behind the car?
No, not right.
Okay.
He ran across the street, and he was over in where the bushes were.
Okay. I got
Over
you.
that way.
Yeah.
And I drove.
Okay.
down the park.
And then did you guys meet back up over in the Publix parking lot? Like, did he come over to where you parked or
No.
anything like that? Okay. So you got out of the car.
He basically just yelled at me from across the street.
Okay. I got you.
And said, that's basically what he was doing. He was hiding himself.
Okay. I'm just trying to see where he may have been and where we may be able to get him, like where there's some light back there or something, maybe a shadow.
He was always along the very edge of the bushes like a little bitty rat.
Like a true, right.
He did just offer her his water, and I would have to be dying of thirst to drink from his water bottle. I would have to be dying of thirst. Gross.
Right on the tree line. Okay. Where did the gun come from? Your grandpa's gun. Okay. How did he know that you had that gun?
Because I had it in the seat next to me.
Okay.
When he got in.
When he got in, he knew that he saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you put it after he got in?
He had it.
He had it?
He was in the seat, and he got in. And I was going to move it, but he saw it, I guess. He grabbed it and
Okay.
said, oh, I'll move that for you.
Okay.
Okay.
And
He
then
just kind of just kept it in his lap.
Okay,
Like,
so it was sitting.
that's weird. I mean, like, just throw it in the back. It's like, nah, no, it's okay.
Okay. All right. So at what point did he give it to you?
Before he got out.
Okay. So when y'all were at the stop sign over here. Okay, so he gives that to you. And did he give you any, like, final instructions before he got out of the car?
He said to just go over there and wait, and he would let me know what to do.
Okay. So you went over there and parked, and he came over along the bushes. And then what instructions did he give you
He was
at that point?
saying that maybe we would go over there and knock on the window and see if it was in there.
Back to the high school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But then they drove over there. He said, go follow them.
Okay.
And, okay.
So you walked back towards where the cars went. And what were you doing along the way? What's going on with you while you're walking back that way?
I was walking along the bushes.
Okay.
I could hear the leaves crunching, crunching.
He was walking along the bushes? But what were you doing when you were walking back that way?
Just walking.
You were just walking.
I was thinking, what the fuck is going on? I was thinking,
Okay. Where was the gun at that point? In your pants pocket? In your jacket pocket. Okay.
I could feel it, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do. I don't want any of this to happen.
Okay. Were you holding it with your hand in your jacket pocket?
It was basically, it was against the pocket. And I had my hands in my pocket like this.
Okay.
I wasn't like holding it.
Okay, you didn't have your finger on the trigger or anything like that. You're just holding it up against your body. Okay. So when you walk around that corner of the building, what happens at that point?
He tells me, go and beat the shit out of them. Go and rob them. Go and kill them.
And what are they doing? The first second you can see them, what are they doing?
They are getting into her car.
Okay. Where into her car?
Into the back seat.
Into the back seat. Are they going through the doors?
Yes.
Okay. And how are they clothed at that point?
At that point, they were closed.
At that point, they had clothes on. Okay.
But when they came out, when I opened the door, because he told me, go, get them out of there, that's when they were not closed.
Okay.
So
So during the time that it took you to walk, from the first time you could see them to walk over there, did you go straight over to the cars, or did you wait anywhere?
I waited because I wasn't sure what to do. He kept on saying for me to go over there. I didn't want to. I was like, okay, what do I do?
Where were you waiting? Where were you when you were waiting before he started giving you instructions?
It was Transformer.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Back behind the building? Would they have been able to see you where you were waiting, or you were kind of behind it?
They would have. I kept peeking my head up, hoping they would see that somebody's there and that they would get scared and go away.
Yeah.
I was like doing like that kind of thing just to see if they could see me.
And so he said, go now. Basically, go and get them. And you went over and you said you opened the door. Which door? Which door did you open?
The left side.
The left side door. So like right behind the driver's seat. Okay. Who got out of the car first?
He did.
You did. What did you say to them when you opened the door?
I basically said, get out right now.
Okay. And he got out.
They hesitated, and he was getting impatient, I could tell.
Yeah.
And so...
Was he still yelling?
Yes, he yelled the whole time.
Okay.
He kept on mentioning my wife, my family, my wife. And so, come on, hurry up, or your family's going to get it soon.
Okay. So you told him to get out, and the guy gets out. And then what? Did you have the gun out of your pocket at that point? Okay. But when did you get the gun out of your pocket?
It is time for a puppy break. Thank you so much, Trucker70, for renewing your membership. We do need a puppy break every now and again when listening to this stuff. So I appreciate that coming through. I think we needed it right now. At least I did. There's this one. By the way, this one right here is a terrorist. I keep telling you guys that. You don't believe me. Do you want to know what she did on Friday? So I was going to cook a nice steak dinner for my husband and I for Valentine's Day. And I set the steaks out on the counter to get to room temperature before I, seared them and cooked them or whatever. And the next thing I know is she's running out the back door. We have a doggy door. She's running out the door with a steak in her mouth, a raw steak. She's a terrorist. Look at this face. She's a terrorist. Don't let her fool you. Xena, on the other hand, innocent angel, just like her mom. This one, terrorist. Innocent angel, terrorist. All right, let's get back to Jeffrey. You notice how it's slowly going from these guys to then I did this, then I did that. It just slowly morphs. This officer's doing a very good job.
When I went over there, I think.
Kind of as you were walking up, you took it out of your pocket. Okay. At that point, did you have your finger on the trigger?
I don't think.
We're taking another puppy break right now. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Dawn. I appreciate that. We will reward the dogs for that. That one. And the angel over here. I appreciate that.
I think so, no.
Okay.
Because I wasn't.
Okay.
I had it along the side.
Along the side, like wouldn't safely carry you. Okay. So you say, get out, and he gets out. Does he say anything to you when he's getting out?
Basically just, what is this? They both said, like, what is going on? I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. They were yelling at me because I didn't know what was going on. He's yelling at me about my family.
Oh my gosh, lady, turn off your cell phone. What are you doing? Turn off your cell phone. You're in the middle of, you're working right now. Turn off your cell phone.
To do, and yelling at me to just kill him or hurt him somehow. yelling about my family, my family, my family, my family. It's always about my family.
Yeah.
It's always about my family.
Okay. So while he's yelling and you have the boy out, what does the girl do?
She's coming out.
She's coming out too. Does she come out the same door? So they both come out the same way? And you said at this point they were undressed. Okay. Did he have his underwear on or off at that point?
When they were in the car, they were all over, but I let them put their clothes on.
Okay. So you let him put his underwear back on?
I let them both put their clothes on.
You let them both put their clothes back on. Okay. So she gets out of the car. Did she say anything as she was getting out of the car?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
out of it. I was going crazy because.
All right. So while they were standing out of the car, is that when you allowed them to put their clothes back on?
They were in the car and they put their clothes on.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they were still in the car when they were putting their clothes on. And they both get out. And then where are y'all standing after they both get out?
They were standing over by the cars, and I was standing over this way with my back towards it.
Okay. So you were a little further away from the cars?
I was just going to, like, hit them a couple times, like, see if that would help.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he told me to kill him.
If that would satisfy him.
Yes, maybe if I hit the guy once, then maybe that would help.
Okay. Did you hit him?
Yes.
Okay. What did you hit him with?
Like this with the gun.
With the gun?
And like, hopefully, that be enough?
Yeah.
Is that enough? No, it's not enough.
Okay. Where did you hit him with the gun? In the head. And what
Because
happened?
maybe that would satisfy him to where my family goes. Like he could forget all about it.
Yeah. Where did, what happened to him when you hit him with the gun?
He fell out of the car.
He fell out of the car? Okay. And then what happened next?
He kept on yelling at me for me to kill them. Kill them. Remember what I could do to your family. Kill them. Remember your family. I was like, you want to save your family, you'll do it.
Okay.
And the voice is in my head.
So let me ask the chat. Do you think that these people were actually in his head? The people telling him to kill the teenage kids behind the Publix? Or do you think he's making it up to try to get out of this mess that he's gotten himself into? I'm really curious. I think he's making it up personally, but he may have been hearing voices. I'm not sure.
Listen to him. But you're supposed to do the right thing.
Right.
You need to run. You need to go. But then he kept on reminding me of my family.
Yeah.
He kept reminding me of my family. Every time I was like, okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. Remember your fucking family.
Yeah. So the boy falls out of the car. Did you ever hit the girl? Was that the only time that you hit the boy? And he told you that wasn't good enough. That wasn't going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So did the boy get up from the ground? And then what did the boy do?
He was basically yelling. He was starting to come at me, and I looked back, and he wasn't going to do anything. He kept on yelling to me, and all my fucking craziness, head shit. And next thing I know, I'm looking around, next thing I know, boom. What happened? He's on the ground. What's going on? And then,
So the boy was coming at you?
yes. And then he was there, she was there, he was not there anymore. And he kept on yelling about my family, my brain's going crazy. He's yelling about my fucking family.
So the boy goes down to the ground. Do you remember how he fell down to the ground?
I don't remember
Did
that.
he fall over like backwards, or did he fall forwards?
I don't remember how they ended up where they ended up, because because
Okay.
it's how about it?
Okay.
And it just all went.
Yeah.
Like
So,
my brain.
where was the girl when the boy was coming at you?
She was over by her car.
She was by the car, and what was she doing? Was she saying anything?
She was yelling at me too.
What was she yelling?
She was yelling, "What the fuck? Why did you do that?" I don't know. He's telling me to. She looked over there and saw him, and he
Someone said that they think that he's on the spectrum. I agree. Last week when Steven was on the show, he may or may not still be in the chat, but we were talking about CTE in football players. You know, Super Bowl Sunday, so we had to do a football themed show. I don't really watch football, but it was the Super Bowl. It is kind of a national holiday, so we talked about football, and he said something about getting the good kind of CTE, and then how you can get the good kind of autism. You can get the goodtism or the badtism, and this guy right here definitely has the badtism.
kill her, kill her. Remember the fucking family. It's always about why was it my family? Did he know I would do it for my family? That I would try to save my family?
Well, everybody would, don't you think? So him using that was how he was getting you to do these things. So, okay, she said, why are you doing this?
She kind of gasped when she saw him. Then where he was just yelling at me so much about my family. I was like, okay, whatever. And that's
Okay, did you hear the boom for her? Where were you when you heard the boom for her?
I was standing over by, in between the cars.
In between the cars? And she was by her car? Okay. Do you remember how she fell down? Did she fall down backwards or did she fall down forwards? Okay.
I closed my eyes to all of that.
Okay.
And
So then after the boom, then what happened?
He yelled at me, go to the fucking car right now. So I ran. After he told me to get the card and all of that, I ran to the car.
So he told you to get the card right after she fell down?
Yes. He's like, get her card, it would be useful. He's like, really? That's not how it's supposed to be. You tell the people.
Did he tell you to touch them at all?
He told me to kick the leg over to the side.
Okay.
So he could see.
Okay. Her leg? Okay.
He was yelling at me from across the way. Why couldn't you come and do this yourself?
Yeah.
Why did you have to get me?
So, when did he tell you to kick her leg? Was that before the card or after the card?
It was after the card.
Okay. So when you got her card from her purse, did you close the door back? So she was laying right there, and he told you to kick her face so he could see?
Nasty.
Okay.
Who would do that?
Yeah. Did he come over there? No, he stayed over by the trees.
Well, couldn't you do this yourself? It's like, you don't need to. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And where else did he ask you to touch her?
He didn't.
He didn't ask you to touch her anymore?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember. I was just like.
Did he ask you to touch the boy?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Any, he didn't ask you to do anything to the boy? This boy that he hated, that took the girl away from him?
I didn't think so. He didn't tell me that, I don't think.
So after you kissed
Is there something that happened to him?
I don't know. Is there?
What about her? What happens? I didn't do anything to them.
Okay.
Except for that.
Okay. Said nothing to the boy. Okay.
Nothing to.
Okay.
But I didn't.
The boy has a mark on his chest.
Like how?
It's like someone stepped on him.
That was.
Do you remember walking over him?
I didn't do
Did you
that.
what?
I walked around them because I couldn't even look at them.
Okay.
I didn't know about that.
Okay.
You said, asked me if I had stepped on them, but I didn't realize that was why.
Okay. Well, we got someone else's DNA off of her and off of him. So if at any point in time you touched them, then they would have your DNA on them. But when you just hurt somebody from far away, your DNA doesn't get on them, obviously. So I'm trying to clear up if that's your DNA that's on them, or if that would be someone else's DNA that was on them.
Oh, what kind of DNA?
Okay. I don't know. It's going to be at the lab, so we're going to check that out. So I just want to know, now while we're at this part in the story, I just want to talk about if you touched either one of them, if he told you to touch either one of them, and be able to clear that up.
I remember that before all this, that he wanted her to be hurt, but I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that.
Did he say how he wanted her to be hurt? Okay.
He wanted her to just go away. But if you were that crazy about somebody, if you liked them, loved them like that, then why did you want me to touch them?
Okay, so the only time he asked you to touch her was to move her leg. And you only moved one of her legs, or did you move two of her legs?
One.
Okay. And did you moved her leg with what part of your body? With your hand? Okay. Did you have any gloves on her, or did you just use your hand? Okay, so your DNA from your hand might be on her leg? Okay. What part of her leg did you touch?
Around the ankle. I just did like that.
Okay. Okay. Did you notice anything about her private parts when you moved her leg?
Didn't look.
You didn't look?
I wouldn't do that with anybody that was besides my wife.
Okay. Did you end up touching any part of the upper leg, like on her thigh or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't do that. I didn't do any of that.
Okay.
I think I have one more part of this queued up, or I thought I did. Hold on, let me find it. There we go. This is part 3 of 5. So we're going to watch a little bit of this, and then we'll be done till next week.
I don't know.
All I wanted to do was protect and it led to me being able to be her.
Okay. What about the license plate on your truck? When does the license plate come off?
When he told me to drive around back of the gas station and take it off because he didn't want my plate to get on the cameras.
Okay. So when
So
you guys
weird because he was helping me, but he just made me do it from back.
So you guys drove out to the gas station, and you went around back of the gas station first? Isn't there's a Publix shopping center there too? Were you at the Publix?
No, it was against the back curb where the gas station, the back is.
Okay, so when you pull in that parking lot, you come in and you just went straight behind the building? Okay, and you took the license plate off? And where did you put the license plate?
Keep it in the road.
Okay. And then you went and got gas. And when did you put the license plate back on?
Drove back around the building where he originally told me to park.
Okay,
and
so
do it, so
you
I
got-
did it there.
Okay, so you got your gas and then you went.
So the reason why I'm playing this part is because it's showing all of these steps he took after the crime before he was caught to try to get away with this crime, which shows that he knew what he was doing and he knew what he was doing was wrong. He went behind a different gas station, the one where he used her credit card. While he was using her credit card, he took the license plate off of his car. He put that mask on. He was conscious enough to know that he had just done something wrong and he was trying to cover his tracks.
And put it right back on. Okay.
I parked in a parking space though, I didn't go to the building.
Okay.
But it was behind the building in the parking space.
Okay.
But he was... I didn't know what was going on. Because... all I wanted to do is protect my wife. That's all I wanted to do.
So the last time that you went there, you left with the jumper cables. And you went where after you left there?
Drove down the highway to where he told me to let him off.
Okay.
And then drove back to the park and just hit the street.
Which park?
Not a park next to her house.
By Kelsey's house that we talked about yesterday. Okay. Did you go anywhere else after that? No?
I don't think so.
Okay. And then in the morning, is that when you went swimming? The next morning? You said this one day you said
At the
the
pool?
side gate was open.
Yes.
And you went swimming.
Because the water helped me clear my mind.
Okay.
Then I went to the soft river. But I just forgot about it until the other night.
Did you?
We're about ready for another puppy break. This is getting a little tense over here. So thank you so much, Karma's Helper, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Ava appreciates it. There she is. And Xena appreciates it. It was getting tense, so thank you so much. Every now and again, we just need a little, a little love from the dogs to just get over the traumatic stuff that we're watching on the screen. Wake up, Xena. This is your job, by the way. This is how we pay for milk bones. And she missed. But Ava will collect that from the floor. There we go. Xena got one. Thank you.
Talk to Kelsey about that.
She wouldn't love me if I did. Even though I was trying to protect her.
Have
I
you
don't
talked to
think
anybody about what happened?
I know nobody except for you.
Okay.
I kept on saying different stories because he's still going to kill her. I'm just trying to protect my wife.
So on Monday, you spent your time with Kelsey. And then, did y'all spend all day together on Monday?
Karma's Helper says, oh, there's no dogs on that screen. There they are. I love having the member milestones. Yes. We get another puppy break right away. There's one for that one. Here's one for this terrorist right here. She is a terrorist. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
I bring my notes in from yesterday.
I don't remember. I just trying to get it all. And now, everybody.
Okay, that's enough of that. By the way, I know I said it before, but maybe some people weren't here. All 9 parts of his 2 interviews are on my channel, uncut, unedited, from the Roswell Police Department for members right now if you want to watch them in full. It's like 9 hours or something like that of all of the police interviews. Next week, Colin from, from Colin's channel, will be here to go over the court part of this case. And we start out here with his first appearance. And then Colin and I are going to get into his competency hearing and his plea deal, and then also his sentencing next week at 4:30. Welcome, Georgia Transparency. And before we do any of that, we have a $2 super chat, so we need another puppy break before we get to his preliminary hearing. Thank you so much. Mr. Zed needs a treat. Should I go throw milk bones at him? I lock him in the basement usually when I'm on air. We'll give the dog treats for now. Mr. Zed will get dinner when I'm done streaming. I will cook him dinner. And I missed again. So Ava's okay with me missing. There we go. Everybody gets a milk bone.
We got this new video as the man charged with murdering 2 high school students faced a judge. You can see Jeffrey Hazelwood shaking in court. Roswell police say he shot and killed Carter Davis and Natalie Henderson behind a grocery store Monday. Channel 2's Audrey Washington is live at the Fulton County Jail. And Audrey, the judge denied bond. And at one point, the suspect appeared to be petting an imaginary dog.
And I can tell you this was a bizarre first appearance. While inside court, Jeffrey Hazelwood, the man charged with double murder, shook continuously and never said a word to the judge. Let's get straight to some of that new video from inside Fulton County Jail. Inside that court appearance, you can see 20-year-old Jeffrey Hazelwood handcuffed. His legs and hands shook uncontrollably at times. He even seemed to be talking to himself and petting something in his lap. The judge set no bond in the case. As we reported, Hazelwood is charged with the murders of Carter Davis and Natalie Henderson. The teens were found shot dead behind a Publix on Woodstock Road in Roswell on Monday. Police have not specified a motive in this case. We caught up with the attorney for Hazelwood, who asked the judge not to read the charges against his client.
8 charges that they have alleged you've committed. However, your lawyer has asked that the court waive reading of the charges. I'm going to grant your lawyer's request.
It's a sad story. 2 young people are dead, and a young man is charged.
Can you talk a little bit about his mental stability?
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not in a position to comment on anything else.
Now, Hazelwood is due back in court on August 19th. I asked his attorney a little more about his mental stability, about some of that behavior we saw inside court. You'll hear that part of the interview beginning all new at 4 on Channel 2 Action News. Right now, though, we are live here right outside the Fulton County Jail. Audrey Washington, Channel 2 Action News.
So, exciting stuff coming up next week with all of the court footage that I have pulled up as well. Like I said, I'm going to have Colin on to talk about that. He does his channel is mostly all court stuff. So and I think he just took his LSAT too. So he's more familiar with the court side of stuff. So I've invited him on to talk about that. Don't forget, Wednesday at 8 p.m. is Booze and Body Cams. So crack a cold one with Kfar and I and watch some criminals get arrested, or alleged criminals, whatever. I guess they haven't been convicted yet, but I'm trying to think what else I have coming up. I like to give you guys a heads up. Oh, there may be a surprise Booze and Body Cams if certain FOIA request stuff comes in. Kfar and I will be going live unexpectedly just as soon as we get it. So make sure you hit the bell to be here for that. I would appreciate it. If you're here and you're not subscribed, you're at the end of the show. Why are you not subscribed? You obviously like it well enough to still be here. And hit the like button. It's free. I'm told it's free. Hit the like button. I'd love it if you do that. It helps the algorithm. And we will see you Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time for Booze and Body Cams. Thanks for coming, guys. Bye.
Understand what you're saying. We're late stage in the catacombs. start your day. Broken table trying to play some ping pong. It's not subtle when we celebrate a magazine with the pages torn. My body cracks, knees buckling. I got a bad case of brain fog. Said I got a bad case of brain fog. So I'ma take my butt home. So I'ma take my butt home. Bird